When working with text in Excel, there are a lot of really cool things we can do, like splitting and joining text, text functions like proper, upper, and lower, data validation to create drop-down menus, removing duplicate data, and a lot more. In this exercise here, we're going to review some of the crucial things you need to know when working with text in Excel so that you have an overview of what you can do in Excel. First, we're going to remove duplicate data from this table here. We're also going to look at capitalizing the names in column C here, the name column. We're going to split the name column into first name and last name. We'll also create a drop-down menu for department that includes these different departments here. And finally, we'll join text from multiple columns using the CONCAT function. Let's dive right in to removing duplicate data. If you want to remove duplicate data, well, first let's see what we have here. You'll notice right away, or maybe it's not that easy to see, that there's some rows here are exact duplicates. And what we want to do is quickly remove those. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Data, Remove Duplicates, and then you have a bunch of items here checked off. We're going to leave all those checked off. What that basically does is it checks to say that each of those columns are exact duplicates. So for it to remove the duplicates when all these are checked off, each name, employee number, region, department, and region dash department would all have to be identical for it to be removed. So that is what we want here. We hit OK. And 3 duplicate values were found and 21 remain. So we've achieved our goal of removing duplicates, and again, that's in Data, Remove Duplicates. Next, we want to capitalize the name in the name column here. How do we do that? We can use the proper function, which capitalizes the first letter in each word of a given cell. So we do equals proper, open parentheses. We scroll over to the cell we want to capitalize, close parentheses, enter. Let's do it again. Equals proper. You can hit tab here once you get the function you want. Scroll over, do that. And as usual in Excel, we can drag the cells down and apply the formula. Now, we don't want this data anymore. We want to replace it. So I'm going to paste values using paste special. And for more on paste special, look at that video. But for right now, we're going to hold off on paste special. So I pasted these here, and now we have the name capitalized. Next, we want to split the name into first name and last name. So let's add a column here. I'll just move the print screen over. This will be first name, and this should be last name. How do we do that? We have to, again, use something in the Data tab. We're going to highlight this. We're going to go on the Data tab. We're already there. And we're going to go to Text to Columns. We're going to use the delimited option here, which allows you to separate text based on characters such as comma or tabs, or in this case, a space. Next, we don't want to delimit or separate by tabs. We want to separate by space. Then go to Next. And finish. It'll sample, it'll show you here what we're doing, and then we've split the data. It's important to note here that when you split by, let's say, a space, the space will actually disappear. There's no more space. If you did a semicolon, the semicolon would disappear. So now we've split up first name and last name. Next, we want to create a drop-down menu for the departments. Creating a drop-down menu will ensure that only the data we want entered in the cells is what will be allowed to be inputted in those cells. So for example, we don't see the support department here, so we want to block someone from putting in support, or we want to block someone from mistyping administration. So how do we do that? We highlight this range here, and then we go to Data, Data Validation. Now, we don't want to allow any value. We only want to allow a certain list. And we could choose our source and then highlight that list, hit hit enter, and then OK. And now we have a drop-down menu here. So let's try to type in support. It blocks it. Or if we type in admin, it blocks it as well. It only will take in those 6 values. Now, when creating a drop-down menu, you could also manually type it in. So you could do list, and then you could start typing in administrative, accounts, and so on. Each one separated by a comma. And you'll see now that we have those 3 options there. The last thing we want to do is join text from multiple columns. And we're going to use the CONCAT function to do that. Equals CONCAT, and previously it was concatenate. So if you have Excel 2010 or 2013, you'll use concatenate. But for 2016, we'll use CONCAT. The first input is the first text that we want. The second input, separated by a comma, is the second text that we want. Now if I do that, I don't have a space or a dash in between them. How do I get that in between them? Well, I need to add another. I could add a dash there and then separate that by a comma. But if I enter, I get an error. What am I missing there? I'm missing quotes. Anytime you want to add custom text that's not a cell reference, you need to put quotes around it. So let's do that again. Equals concat, region, comma, quotes for the dash, comma, department, close parentheses. And now if I wanted, let's see, if I wanted a space around the dash, I could just do quote, space, dash, and then another space, quote, comma, and then department. And we didn't, now we could just pull that down. And once this is filled out here, that will populate as well. So here are a few cool things you could do when working with text in Excel. There's a bunch more, but hopefully this gives you a sense of the really cool things that we could accomplish here in Excel.